Secret of the Andes by Anne Wilson Clark. The last chapter, chapter 17, written in the stars. Hear the llamas humming, my Misty? They know we are coming home to them. Kusi got out his flute and gave the flute call in answer. He had been practicing it all day as he walked along the trail, and although it was far from perfect, it delighted him. Sanka began a wild, excited barking. Chudo appeared at the head of the trail. Kusi was alarmed at the weariness in the old one's face, but when Chudo spoke, his voice sounded as it always did, soft and patient and kind. You have come back, the old man said, and repeated himself as was his habit. You have come back. He touched briefly Kusi's shoulder. Together, the man and the boy walked to the hut before the supper fire. Deep in my heart, I think I knew you would come back. I think I never doubted it, deep in my heart. Kusi smiled at him. Deep in my heart, I must have known too, because look, I bartered for these at the marketplace. One for you, one for me. This for you, this for me. As he talked, Kusi unloaded Misty and gave Chudo the things he had brought for him. Chudo was pleased. He put the trousers on, he put the sweater on, he put the cap on. Then he helped Kusi unload the 2 other llamas. He never asked where the 8 were that had gone down the trail with Kusi. Later on, perhaps, he would ask, or Kusi would think to tell him. Right now, the important thing was to get the loads off the tired llamas, to turn them into the ichu grass, to join the humming herd. Right now, the important thing was to get the potatoes and the corn and the coca stored away within the shelter. These things done, the other things would follow, each in its own place and its own way. While they were eating supper, Kusi got out the corn from Sacred Lake, gift to Chudo from the keeper of the fields. Chudo's eyes lighted when Kusi gave it to him. Ah, you saw him then. You saw him, he said as he thoughtfully turned the corn over and over in his strong brown hands. I saw him, Kusi answered. He showed me the new trail around the landslide. Did you know there was a landslide? Chudo nodded. They told me how good that you saw her, now that the sliding mountain has, perhaps, destroyed all that you saw. This was what Kusi had wanted, some word, some sign, some token that the old one wanted to talk. Kusi moved nearer the small fire flame. The night was hushed with waiting. There were no stars. There was only blackness, velvet blackness, thick and soft, blanketing the mountain peaks, blanketing the wind, hushing the noises of the night. Kusi spoke. Chudo, my Chudo, I want to stay here with you. You are my family. This is my home. I never want to go away again. Chudo did not answer. The llamas were not humming. Even the whining Sanka was still. Chudo, let me stay. Why do you say that? Why? Because it is what I want. I learned that this is my heart's deepest wish. Are you certain? Are you sure? Think before you answer. Do not speak quick words that will run away once you have set them free. Chudo's voice was cold and stern. Kusi shivered, but he did not falter. I want to stay. I want to share your days and give you mine. Again, Chudo repeated, think, Kusi. Be careful of your words. I want to stay. You are too young to know what you want. Kusi stood up. I am old for my years. The minstrel said it. The Amata said it. The woman who gave me food and called me son thought it. I could tell. The keeper of the fields acted towards me as if I were old enough to talk with. I am old for my years. I am old enough to know what I want. You only question me, doubt me, turn me back when my feet ache to walk the manhood trail. Kusi's young voice broke. It was not arrogant. It was not proud. It was a wistful, pleading cry. Chudo, my father, father of my choice, believe in me. Chudo, too, was standing. Son of my choice, I believe you now. You are ready. It is I who falter, because I love you. Give me time to open this door to you that, once opened, closes itself forever. Kusi waited. He stood erect and firm. He did not move. Neither excitement nor fear made his heart beat faster or his pulse race. He was relaxed. He was ready. He was not afraid. At last, Chudo spoke. 400 years have lessened our numbers, but have not diluted our blood. For 4 times 400 years, our blood will flow in its destined channel across our conquered land. Kusi, repeat after me these words I say. I, Kusi, son of the ancients, son of nobility, son of royalty, son of the last mighty Inca. I, Kusi, shepherd boy of Peru, make my sacred, my lasting, my irrevocable vow. Kusi's voice did not stammer, did not waver, as he said, I, Kusi, make my sacred, my lasting, my irrevocable vow for now and for my tomorrows until death takes life from me. Chudo asked again, Are you ready? Are you sure? The reply came promptly and clearly. I am ready. I am sure. It is well. Repeat the words I say. Repeat them slowly. Repeat them distinctly. Each word must cut itself into your heart until life's end. I vow to keep the secret of the cave. Now and forever I keep the secret. Never will I show it except to the chosen one. Never will I speak of its hidden bounty except to him who will be chosen to follow me. Never will I speak of this hidden spot. I will not think of it, lest my dreams betray me. I will not think of it, lest my thoughts escape me. With my blood I will defend my knowledge. With my blood I make this vow. With my blood I will keep it. Kusi repeated the words. He felt a sharp stab of pain, and a drop of blood slowly dripped to the ground beneath his feet. Again, Chudo told him to repeat words that he said to him. This vow was to keep the Inca's llama flock intact, breeding them with wisdom, tending them with knowledge, giving them out with judgment. Again, Kusi felt the small, sharp stab of pain and knew his life's blood was hostage to his vow. The third time Chudo recited the vow, the boy answered as clearly as he had the first time. This was his promise to serve, to guide, to train, to protect the chosen novice who would be sent to shepherd the flock when Kusi would be taken to rest in the place of his ancients. As Kusi repeated the words, with my blood I make this vow, with my blood I will keep it. The moon thrust the clouds away and lighted the mountain valley in silver gray. Chudo motioned for the boy to follow him. They went again down the trail to the Sunrise Rock. Chudo touched the stone wall behind the rock. With the flat palms of his hands, he touched it. Slowly, the massive wall pivoted. Slowly it turned. Slowly it turned, forming an opening to a great cave. The man and the boy went inside, and the rock closed itself behind them. They were in a gigantic rock-hewn room, which was piled from floor to roof with woven bags upon woven bags, filled to bursting with powdered gold. Chudo spoke, but it did not sound like Chudo's voice. The words were precise. They were deadly and cold. Kusi, listening, shivered. They, the conquerors, came. They came swarming into the land with hate and with weapons. They came. They captured the mighty Inca, holding him with chains. They captured him. Down the trails of the Andes, the Indians sent 10,000 llamas, carrying bags of gold dust, to ransom their king. But they, the conquerors, killed him. They killed the Inca, fearing his wrath if they set him free, and the 10,000 llamas, marching down the trails of the Andes, vanished from the land, and with them vanished the gold dust, ransom for the king. 400 years men have searched to find the llamas and to find the gold. Only 2 men shall know where the llamas are herded. Only 2 men shall know where the gold is hidden. Only 2 men shall know. One whose footsteps approach the end of the trail. One whose young feet stand at its beginning. Only 2 men shall know. Only 2 men shall know. This has been written in the stars. The voice stopped. It did not trail away. 1 second its icy tone filled the room. The next second all sound had stopped, and life stood still. Kusi's wrist hurt, but he was too proud to touch it. He would not even glance at its wound. Slowly the cave wall opened, although Kusi had seen no move on Chudo's part. Slowly the old Indian and the young one went out into the cold gray of just before the dawn. They did not return up the trail. They sat in the shelter of the rock and listened to the wind wailing the night's departure. Chudo talked and Kusi listened. I myself went for 2 years. I saw the coastlands and the sea. I saw cities and the people of the cities. But I came back. I took the vow. Then the old one who trained me died, and Titu was sent to me, but I was too strict. I feared the outside world would get him. It had taken me for 2 long years. I vowed he would not be tempted as I had been. I was too strict. He ran away. He will never return, I know it now. I should have known it when he sent you, his son, into my keeping. I should have known it when he sent your mother's sandals for you to have. If he had come back himself, if I could have talked with him. But he sent the Amata, his teacher, and later your teacher. The Amata brought you. The Amata brought the sandals. I know it now. I think I knew it then, when he brought you. Such a little thing you were, so serious and so quiet. Not a noisy, laughing child as Titu was. Your mother... Chudo stopped. You saw her before the landslide came. Chudo stopped again, waiting perhaps for questioning. Kusi had no questions, only thoughts. That was his mother, he thought. She had spoken truly then, when she had called him son. That was his mother, and now she was gone. But no, she was not gone. He carried her safely in his memory. He carried her little golden sandals close to his heart. Vividly, safely, and forever he would remember. And Tito, his father, who wanted for his son what he himself could never have. Where was he now, the boy wondered, but he knew that wherever Titu was, his thoughts were for his son. Kusi had no questions, he had only thoughts, but his thoughts were good. They left him comfort and peace. Chuto was talking again. Herdsmen of the Inca's llamas must be wise and widely traveled. If you like, you are free to go over the trails. Knowing you, I know you will not be tempted to remain as I was tempted. Neither Titu nor I had made our vows before we left. We had nothing to hold to as you have. How could I go and leave the llamas? Kusi asked him. The old man answered with dignity, I would be here. There are many years left to me. But if something happened to you? Kusi asked. You would be told. Yes, I would be told, Kusi said quietly. Perhaps someday I'll go, but not tomorrow, or tomorrow, or tomorrow. The dawn sent forth its herald colors to let men know that day was due. Kusi and Chuto rose to face the east and to salute the sun for a new beginning.